Okay, so the last thing we have, and it'll be pretty short, is comics. Now, everybody has been complaining a lot about how comics are sexist and they're not, marketing toward girls. But I found that recently, especially this month, a lot of new comics have come out that kind of seem like they're oriented toward women. So I don't know if it's in response to that, but I thought I would take down the most interesting ones and share them with you.
All right.
First one we have by Boom is Suburbia, and it is such a fantastic idea. Why didn't I think of it? I could
What
have
is
been
it?
rich. It's like one of those housewife shows, like the Housewives of Orange County, except it's like the housewives and house husbands of superheroes. And in the first episode, you're being introduced to all these different families, and in one, this woman comes home to find her husband, who is a superhero, doing it with his sidekick boy. And I was like, oh my, oh, I have to get all of these. What's going to happen? So it's a soap opera, Desperate Housewives of Superhero comic.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
This is like E! Channel's version of The Incredibles.
Yeah, kind of.
Or Bravo's version of The Incredibles.
Yeah, more like Bravo. So that was only the first episode. Hopefully it will continue to be dramatic and someone will get brain cancer and have amnesia.
You call comic books episode?
Well, when I'm talking about it's the first issue, but,
Okay.
it's my own vocabulary.
I don't know much about comic books, but I don't think they're called episodes.
Well, no, but, it really feels like that. It really feels like you're watching a TV show with this one. Because you're like, and then he slept with him until next time.
I might actually enjoy that. It does sound interesting.
Okay, so our next comic book, have you heard of Fables?
It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
Fables is this now long-running comic book series by Vertigo, and they take, fables and fairy tales and, they're retelling them, and it reads very much like a soap opera.
Okay.
And it's good, but there's also a lot of characters in there that I kind of like. So I tend to kind of come in and out of the series, but they just released a spin-off series called Fairest, where they're taking all the princesses from fables and fairy tales and giving them their own story. So it's very, the kind of cool, not taking yourself too seriously kind of fables spin on it, but it's also very romantic, and it's the first kind of like romantic comic that's come out in a while.
Mhm.
So I'm pretty excited about that one. The first one was really good. But then in a complete, opposite of that, we have Lady Mechankia by Aspen Entertainment, and they're trying to make money off this new steampunk thing.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like a private investigator who's steampunk, and it looks really cool. I don't know how well the story is going to be, but she definitely looks like she's ready to be an action figure and be a cartoon. It looks amazing.
Okay.
And kind of along that line, we have Dominique Laveau Voodoo Child. It's by Vertigo again, and she is an occult kind of. She's like a half queen. There's all this mystery behind it. It's in New Orleans and has to do with, occult and magic and fantasy, but it's done in a very character-driven way, which is, always associated with women's literature. And
Yeah.
it looks very pretty. So it's obviously marketed toward women. And then we have these last two that I am super excited about, and I will leave the one that I thought of you immediately to last.
Okay.
So we have Archie number 636. It's called The Great Switcheroo. And in this one, it's a complete gender swap.
Oh,
They're
wow.
gender swapping the whole town. And now Archie is a girl and has two guys fighting over her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So everyone's super excited to see that. I am too. I think it's going to be really disappointing because Sabrina does a guest spot in it, and everyone's talking about, oh, it's harder to be a guy, it's harder to be a girl. So she's like, well, I'll just switch your genders and find out about it. So I'm preparing to be offended about what they say about gender.
What? Is Sabrina a regular character in Archie? I don't know.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Okay. I thought that's who you meant, but I was like, why is she in an Archie comic? Like, what?
Yeah, well, they kind of make guest spots in between the two series every once in a while.
So, but what's her connection with Archie comics?
She's kind of seen as to be in the same universe.
Did she have comic books?
Oh, yeah, she's had comic books since way back in the day.
Oh,
yeah.
I had no idea. What I know of Sabrina the Teenage Witch is it was a movie, then it was a TV series.
Yes, it was originally a comic, and it's from the same publisher as Archie. I'm not sure who originally made it. I don't think they both came from the same original publisher, because Archie originally was a Christian comic.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Huh.
you got to look at some of the very old episodes. They were very much like, oh, we gotta go tell everybody about Jesus now. Come on, guys. And Sabrina being a witch, I don't think they would have been from the same publisher, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. But then we have one that I think you're going to love. I think you should try this one. I
Okay.
haven't even read it yet, but I have a feeling you might like this one. Image came out with this new comic series this month that's called Saga.
Okay.
And they're advertising it as, and I'm quoting here, Star Wars style action collides with Game of Thrones esque drama in this original sci-fi fantasy epic for mature readers, as new partners Marco and Alana risk everything to raise their child amidst a never-ending galactic war. That sounds cool, right?
Yeah.
But wait, I'm not done.
Go ahead.
So I've read that and I saw the cover, and the cover, they're an interracial couple, and not only that, they also aren't human.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I know how much you like, the prosthetics and the, alien looking people. So
Are you still freaked out by that picture I showed you of manipulating myself to look like an alien?
yes, I think that deep down you feel like you came from another planet and you keep trying to make pictures of yourself to reflect your soul. We'll talk about Otherkin later on, but you are definitely a starseed. I feel it. You're being picked up to go home. I think you'll like this. It looks really good.
It sounds good. My thing, given it's a comic book, it might be different. Like I said earlier, I don't really tend to read fantasy novels just because I don't usually get into them. Movies and TV shows I do, but the books I just can't get into it. But if it's a comic book, it'll probably move along a bit faster.
Oh, yeah.
But the Star Wars aspect of it, while I enjoy Star Wars, definitely a Star Trek girl.
I guess we'll finish off the show on a heartwarming note.
Okay.
Because I know it's far from Christmas, but I think I found something that would be perfect for me to get you.
Oh.
But it's not being sold yet. I found a handmade one. So tell me if this is something you want or not.
Okay.
Somebody made, and it's, clear, sparkly. In the middle of it is a TARDIS.
Okay.
But it is a Doctor Who dildo.
No!
And the whole dildo is made out of this clear plastic, little sparklies around it, so it looks like it's traveling through time. And in the middle of it is this tiny little TARDIS. So when you insert it inside you, it's like he's traveling through you.
Lord, no! No, never, ever.
Okay, so I'll put a pin in that.
I like Doctor Who, but I don't like it that much.
Well, live and learn. I still think it's a great gift. So if anyone finds, any to buy, let me know. So on that note, there's April.
No. You still have to say Van Gogh the Dutch way.
Okay. How do you?
I'll say it first.
Say this. This comes from the fact that I cannot pronounce anything correctly, apparently, to anybody. I get a lot of heat for that. So.
Okay, here we go. Van Gogh.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Van Gogh.
Pretty good.
Thank you.
Maybe you just need to speak Flemish languages now.
Well, I do watch a lot of Dutch porn, so I'm used to the sound. So, again, on that note, because it's the same note, we'll say goodbye to April and good riddance, and we'll see you all soon to talk about a new fangirl topic. So, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.